There might be no better feeling in the world than when a box shows up from Vokey. And inside of it, we have some absolutely swank pieces. All right, I took them out of the box, but here they are. Let me flip this around. We have the Tour Toe stamped Vokies. How sick are these? I know they look really beat. It's because they're in the raw finish. And then on the hosels, you actually have the loft designations, which is super dope. It's really hard to see, but you can see it on the hosel now. It's like laser etched in there. The funniest part though about these getting released, they just dropped today, is the fact that the person who started the whole toe stamp trend, Titleist, can't even talk about anymore because he's no longer on their staff, but guess who can? And of course, it would be no one other than this beauty right here, Mr. Max Homa. And the way this whole trend started is actually kind of interesting, so let's talk about it. When Max got his first PGA Tour win at the Wells Fargo in 2019, this was his wedge setup, sort of. A 46-10F, 50-12F, 54-14F, and you can see in this picture, that's a 60-08M grind. But on Monday of the week he won his first PGA Tour event, him and Aaron Dill actually had him move into a 60-04L grind. It's basically an M, but a little bit narrower, and then he goes on to win that week. First week with the wedge in the bag. Now, those were SM7s, but when the SM8s came out, that's where he changed it up a little bit. Because for a reason that I'm not 100% sure of, he moved from a 54-14F to a 56-degree 14F, which actually happens to be the same wedge that Scotty Scheffler still plays. And because of that, apparently it created some sort of gapping issue. So when they went to bend the club to 55, Max apparently got annoyed enough at the fact that the actual loft of the club didn't match the engraved number. He had Aaron Dill start grinding off the number and stamping it with a letter instead. And since then, Aaron Dill has done some insanely custom stamped PGSL wedge sets for Max Homa that they can't talk about anymore, which is a shame. Like these LA Dodgers ones, so simple yet so sick. With the little Max Homa as well. But maybe the LA isn't intricate enough for you. How about the actual spelled out Dodgers logo? Absolutely insane. Aaron Dill is a freaking artist, dog. Maybe you're just proud to be an American. These are pretty sweet too. No, this doesn't have the toe stamp, but this one's maybe the craziest I've seen. All of those are pastas. That's gonna be like 30 different types of pasta, and then he painted it so it says Max. So dope. And right before he left for Cobra, this was like one of the last things he did. Obviously, his son's name is Cam, so you got Cam's dad. But of course, he did move on to signing with Cobra. And earlier this year, he did have a full set of Cobra wedges in the bag. So that is the end of this trend for Max, right? Well, not quite, because just a couple of weeks back at Harbor Town, something made a reappearance. His Cobra Snakebite 50-degree remains, but he has since moved back to the S and L wedges, 56-14F, bent strong, and an L grind 60. But if you were wondering about actual Titleist staffers who use the toe stamps, you do have Wyndham Clark, Tom Kim, and Slick Willie Will Zalatoris.